So for those of us that are joining us on our other social media platforms, please we'd like to crave your indulgence for a bit more patience. So we're waiting for more people to join us on our Zoom platform. So we'll be starting the session shortly. We'll start the session proper by 12:10. Thank you. Please, while we wait, there's a poll that's been launched on your screen. Would you like to create your knowledge of this particular session before we start the session? So please kindly fill the poll that's been launched on your screen. Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. We'll be starting shortly. Thank you to all those that have joined so far. We'll be starting shortly by 12:10. This is to allow for more people to join. But while we wait, there's a poll that's been launched on your screen. Would like to get your feedback. Please kindly fill this poll. Your feedback is very important to us. But if you know that, please kindly confirm in the chat box if you can see um this poll. If you can't, please kindly let me know so that the link to the poll can be dropped in the chat box for me. Thank you. Um, so please can we all confirm that you can see the poll has been launched on your screen, please? Please, I need to get confirmation. I can see that but I can see the number of people on the session and the number of people that have failed there's a wide gap between that number. So please, if you know that you can't see the poll on your screen, please kindly confirm in the chat box. Welcome to everyone that's joined us. We'll be starting shortly. We're starting a little bit later than the 12 p.m. because we're waiting for more people to join. But please, I need confirmation in the chat box that you can see the poll that has been launched on your screen because we need your feedback. Thank you so much, Madam Fumi TV. Thank you. Thank you for your confirmation. So please, I need to get confirmation that others can see the poll that has been launched on their screen. If you cannot see the poll, please kindly confirm so that we can have it posted in the chat box. Okay, Elizabeth, the poll will be posted in the chat box shortly. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session. So today's session promises to be another very insightful session. We're talking about how to use bankable applications to leverage guarantees and navigate DBN pathways now. We have brought to our session today an expert that will be taking us through everything that has to do with today's topic. Now, my name is Omotaya Kyomi. I'm the Business and Project Support Officer here at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. And you may ask, what is the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund? What do we do? Now, the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund came into law by Lagos State Employment Trust Fund law of 2016. And one of the things that we were created to do is to help with the issue of unemployment in Lagos State. And how do we do that, you would ask? We do that by giving access to finance to business owners in Lagos State. We also do that by also ensuring that we don't just provide access to this financing for their businesses. We also ensure that we give them capacity building opportunities. We create capacity building opportunities for them to participate in so that they not only receive this money, but also know how to properly apply this whatever money that's been given to them for their businesses, they apply it properly for their businesses. You get to learn from our capacity building sessions. You get to attend our masterclasses and advisory sessions, such as the financial advisory sessions that we're having today. You get to learn everything that has to do with bookkeeping, everything that has to do with bankable applications, just as we're having today. You get to, through our legal advisory sessions, you get to know everything that has to do with the legal side of your business. As a business owner, what do you need to know legally that could be binding or that could be detrimental to you as a business owner? We also have our HR advisory sessions. So as a business owner, you'd be expected to have eyes that will help you run your businesses. So it's expected that you should know a thing or two about what you need to know about when it comes to talent development, talent retention, and the likes. This is where our HR advisory sessions come in. We also have our risk advisory sessions. We have our marketing advisory sessions. We have our master classes. We have our physical capacity building sessions. which one of which we just concluded in collaboration with the Agege local government chairman to help get Lagos residents, business owners, loan financially literate, and while also preparing them, helping them to be loan ready for our loan programs. We have many of these programs on offer. We have our business registration program in partnership with Smeden. We also have our access to market opportunities where we bring together business owners to exhibit their products and services. We'll be having one coming up later in the month. So please be on the lookout. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSCTF, so you don't miss out on any of these opportunities that we have on offer for you here at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. We have our Lagos Innovate unit also that are in charge of everything that has to do with tech. If you're in the tech space, you have money tech ideas, you are in need of workspace vouchers, you are a female founder, and you like mentorship. These are some of the things that we have on offer at our Lagos Innovate team. And we also have our employability teams within the ages of 18 to 35. You like to acquire a skill. Our Lagos Innovate team have various programs that you can participate in. Now, for you to know how you can get involved in all of these programs, please follow us on all our social media platforms. For those that are interested in the loans, we're in all local government close to you, we're in all local governments in Lagos State. Walk into any local government close to you, meet with our officers there, and they will be on hand to assist you with any of the programs that you are interested in. For our loan programs, we operate a single digit interest rate, which is 9% per annum. And this is one of its kind, where you get to have an opportunity to have access to loan facilities at a single digit interest rate per annum. So if you're interested in any of our programs, like I said earlier, please follow us on all our social media platforms and turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss out on any of the posts that will come up on our social media platforms and any of the programs that we might have on offer that you would be able to benefit from. So welcome once again to today's session. And I have on today's session Mr. Navi Ologe. Now, Mr. Navi will be taking us through today's session. Will be taking us on everything that has to do with today's topic. Now, Mr. Navi is Mr. Navi is
Hello.
sorry, Mr. Navi.
Yeah.
So Mr. Navi is a seasoned tax professional and facilitator and multidisciplinary professional who sits at the intersection of finance, taxation, and strategy, and is armed as a chartered accountant and is armed as a chartered accountant. He has an MBA, postgraduate diploma in economics, and he has certifications as both a project management professional and a chartered broker, and he brings rare depth to every engagement. Over the years, Mr. Ologe has partnered with individuals and businesses across sectors, delivering expertise in taxation, financial management, and capacity development that drives real measurable outcomes. His work goes beyond compliance, and he builds financial clarity and strategic confidence in the people and organization he works with. So please welcome Mr. Navi as he takes us through today's session. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Good afternoon. Am I audible enough? So can I get a response from someone? Hello.
Yes, Mr. Navi, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Good afternoon once again. Good afternoon, everyone. You are welcome to this session. where we are going to be looking at bankable applications, leveraging guarantees, and navigating DBN pathways. Right. So I'll be sharing my screen. So we take a quick view of my presentation. Let me know if you can see my screen. Is it visible? Okay. All right. Tyler, please, I'll need your assistance here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Mr. Nabi, we can see your screen.
All right. All right. Okay. Good afternoon once again. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Ologe Ejinabi. As Shell rightly said, I'm a chartered accountant, a holder with BSc in accounting, PhD in economics, and MBA from Nextford University. I've had a couple of years of experience, but I take all them baby experience, and I'm here to take you through, the topic, bankable applications and DBN passwords. Right. And through this, we're going to be looking at how medium and small and micro companies can access loans. Um, if we look at it, financing is one of the problems we have in Nigeria as a whole for businesses. Businesses are having hard time in getting finances from either loan sharks themselves or commercial banks, microfinance banks, and all other applicable institutions that they can get loans from, which is one of the biggest problem when it comes to business in Nigeria. But here we are going to look at how it's going to be accessible, easier for micro and small businesses, in getting these loans in order to foster businesses. You know, yeah. So accessing finance is a problem, and I know that's an issue for everyone, doing business in Nigeria, whether big or small. And we should also take note that debt is one of the best ways of financing.
Okay, apologies. I think our facilitator is having a network problem. He will be rejoining us back shortly. But while we wait, there's a poll that will launch on the screen. Please, we need to hear back from you. We need to get your feedback just before we start the session. Our facilitator will be joining back shortly. But while we wait, please kindly fill the poll. If you cannot see the poll on your screen, I will be sharing the link in the chat box. Please just click on the link to fill the poll while we wait for our facilitator to rejoin. It will take too much of your time, take at least just 2 minutes. Yes, Amit. I know that you can hear the facilitator. This is because he's having network issues. He'll be joining back shortly. So while we wait, please kindly fill the poll on your screen. And if you can't see the poll on your screen, I will be sharing the link in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, sorry for that. The network threw me out, and these are one of our issues, we're having. And okay, so these are one of the issues we have, and this is one of the things we are trying to sort in Nigeria as a whole. So that's why we're going to be looking at the bankable applications for getting loans in Nigeria. You a minute, let me share my presentation.
Yes, Mr. Nabi, you can go ahead to share screen.
Okay, that's fine. Can we all see my screen now?
I think it's still coming. Yes, it's up now.
Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So, just a quick one to run into what we have for today. In Nigeria has one of the biggest economy, in the world, and in Africa, like we call us the giants of Africa. We have the biggest economy in Africa, to say. And looking at it, we have a lot of small companies, micro, medium companies. And according to statistics, we say that Nigeria has up to 40 million medium and micro economic businesses, small businesses in Nigeria. And look at the number of micro businesses in Nigeria. That's a lot, if you ask me. Everybody is going into entrepreneurship. Everyone is owning businesses. Everyone is investing. And in an economy like Nigeria, this already contributes to 84% of our share employment because a lot of companies come up, a lot of individuals come up. Every day there's a new company registering on CACA platform, and these companies stretch far and wide. When you open a company, you want to employ, if you're not employing workers under you, you're employing cleaners. If you're not employing cleaners, you're employing people that would, contribute to the success of your company per se. And that is just 84% of the of employment share. And that's why they call MSME as the backbone. They call it the backbone of every economy. You don't expect only Dangote to be the backbone of economy or be the first of the economy. You don't expect only Dangote Petroleum. You don't expect BUA, But every medium and small company, these are the people that are really driving the other sector of the economy as a whole. And then we're looking at if these guys, we say they are the drivers of the economy, do they have the appropriate and enough finance to drive this? Do they have the finance to drive it? So that's why I wrote here. Nigeria hosts 40 million SMEs and they contribute nearly 50% of our GDP. And that's like 84% of the economy. Yet, fewer than one to two out of 20 have access to formal bank loans. You know, gone are the days where we used to go around meeting our family members for money to start up our business. Gone are the days we want to expand and we are meeting our family members to loan us. Now we have a lot of microfinance. Now we have a lot of commercial banks. We have a lot of mortgages today that can actually assist us in getting this loan to expand beyond our confines. It expand beyond the region where we are. Some people want to extend beyond the states where they are. Some people want to have different branches. Some people want to, purchase more raw material, to do businesses. And how do they get this money? It's through the loans that the banks finance for them. So we have structural mismatch. SMEs contribute 50% to Nigeria GDP, yet face a 13 trillion unmet credit demand. What does that mean? We have up to 13 trillion that people are wanting to get, but they cannot get it. And they say this sector still contributes to 50% of Nigeria GDP. Imagine this money having this 13 trillion in the masses. Imagine having this 13 trillion in the hands of SMEs. Do you know that our economy will be better than the way it is now? You know, so we say commercial banks are very liquid. Every now and then, you have people getting licensed for new microfinance banks everywhere. But Why are they getting the license to handle businesses? Is it not to give out loan? When you talk about banking, you said bank is you when you think about financing bank is somewhere you store your money. And what they do with that money they store with them. They also give it out to people. Some they invest it in treasury bills, people for loans, right? But why is it hard for people to access these loans? That is what we are looking at here. You as a businessman, you as a businesswoman, how do you get access to these loans? So, so DBN, that is Development Bank of Nigeria, has come up with a way to get SMEs to get these loans, at a very affordable rate. So let's move on. Getting this loan is not that easy, as we have said, or it is not working in the bank and telling the bank or telling the microfinance banks that, oh, I need a loan. I want to foster my business. I need a loan. I want to grow. I need a loan. I want to buy more, raw materials. I want to buy, I want to handle expenses with this loan. No, you don't just go to the banks, and that is why it is hard. That is why it's hard for a lot of people. But there are certain criteria that you must meet up to be able to access this loan. And this loan we are talking about, we even look at it. Is it the bank loan? This loan we are looking at, is it the loan that they collect from customers? Is it customers funding? Is it customers deposits? No. But the reason why we are doing this course, if we go back to the topic, is bankable applications for DBN pathways. We should know that DBN as a whole, that is Development Bank of Nigeria, for those that don't know the meaning, they have a certain amount they allocate to some certain, institutions to give out to people to carry out loan. So let me relate it to agriculture. The government itself, they say they have or they make accessible tractors, they make accessible loans for those that want to go into agriculture to access, and this is for only those that go into agriculture. But if you go and meet them and tell them that you want to start a clothing brand, you want to start shipping in Ojota market, these people will not be able to give you this loan because it is not agricultural loans, right? So this one we are talking about is development bank loan. So development bank is saying if we have small and medium sized businesses, which is the first for Nigeria economy, then let's make some money available to them so that they can go and get it and do their business effectively. You understand? And getting this loan is not just walking into the bank. Like I said, to get this loan, you have to go through some certain criteria. We have to go through some certain stages before we can actually get this loan. And then the three stages here is bankability, guarantees, and pathways. We said the bankability is more or less like a preparation. That is the pillar. I want to get a loan. What do I do? Well, how do I present myself? If you are going to meet the president as an individual, there's a way you present yourself. If you are going to ask someone for something, there's a way you present yourself. There are some criteria you have to meet up in order to make yourself accessible to get this loan. And then when we look at guarantees, we're going to be saying, do I have the right collateral? Do I have the right guarantee by my side to acquire this loan? And then this loan we are looking at, this DBN loan we are looking at, you know, are they accessible everywhere? Do I just go into any bank and tell them I want this loan? No, we have 83 participating financial institutions which are effectively used by Development Bank of Nigeria to get this loans. And mind you, so I state, you don't go to DBN to collect these loans. You do not go to DBN to collect these loans. You only go to the participating finance institutions to get these loans. So in the course of of this presentation, you'll be able to see who are the 83 participating finance institutions that I can actually apply for DBN loans. So let's as we go, we'll say this. Let's keep walking. So I wrote something here and I said bankability is the work you do before you walk into the bank. Don't just walk into the bank and tell them I need a loan. You don't just walk into the bank and tell them, oh, I want to start a business or I want to expand my business, give me a loan. No, there are some certain things you have to do as a business in order to get these loans. So let's keep moving. What are the things I would do to be able to get these loans? What do I put together for them to see that my business is strong? What do I put together to help to let them see that I have a good outlook for them to be bankable with me? Number one is a lot of us go into business and we forget or we think that registration of our business is not important. That is very foul. That is a red card on its own. You cannot start a business without registering it. You want a loan, you have to show that you are a very reputable business and so on. And a lot of people do not do the CAC registration. You don't do your CAC registration, you don't have an active team, and you walk into the banks, you want to get a loan. It's highly impossible, right? So let's look at these things. For you to have for you to have a bankable application, for you to be able to be bankable for a loan request, for the bank to see you and approve your loan, then there are some certain criteria. And number one is you must register your company. Let's take note of that. You must register your company. Two, your company must have an active team. That is your tax identification number. Because these are the things they are looking at. Do you have a CAC? Is your company registered under CAC? Do I have an active tax identification number? If you do not have these things, then you are not bankable. You are not bankable. Just like you going into the bank and opening a bank account, they will ask you for a passport. Do you have a passport? If you say no, you cannot say open the bank account. Do you have a phone number? You know, and do you have NEPA bill? These are the things they will ask you. So when you're looking at being bankable, we are saying, do you have a CAC registration for your company, for your small business? Have you registered it? We don't. A lot of businesses today are not registered, and that is one of the reasons why you're not bankable. So do I have a CAC registration? Do I have an active team? Now, there is something that has been a big problem in the business world today for small and medium sized, and that is separate accounts. I was still in a conversation today with someone that there was a lady that called me today and telling me that, oh, sir, my account, my business account, and my personal account is in one account. There are a lot of us open maybe your own personal account is GT Bank. In that same GT Bank, you want to do business, you say, send that money to my GT Bank. We do not have a separate account. I'm telling you the things that you need to put in place to be able to be bankable. Because a lot of us can actually get this DBN loan without stress. But these are the things that if they are not put in place, it will be very hard. They are constraints for us in getting these loans. So we need to have a separate account. You have a business account. Have a business account separate from your personal funds. These are some of the tricks that you don't know. But if you have this thing in place, it will be easy for you to get these loans. So put it in record. Do I have CAC registration? If you do not have it, please get your business registered. Do I have it, my tax identification number? Getting a TIN does not mean that you start paying tax on the first day. Do you understand? So we need to have that TIN registered with our business. Then is my business account separate from my personal account? This is what the bank is looking at. This is what the institution is looking at, so that they will know you are credible. Now, for some business that have started, you have to provide your statements proving that money comes into this account and goes out. Do you understand? You have to have a 12 to 24 months bank statement available. Not going there and telling them I do not have these things. If you do not have these things, how do you expect them to trust you with these loans? Mind you, loan is not free because everybody is in the business of making profit. So if a bank should give you a DBN loan, then at an interest rate, they must be sure that you are able to pay back these loans they have given you. And how do you show that you are able to pay back this loan? It's through your bank statement. If your bank statement show money flowing, you also have to have a bookkeeping which shows your daily sale logs or your monthly expense trackers. If you do not have these things, these are just the little things that people do not have. And when they go to get these DBN loans, they get turned down. So take notes. You must have your CAC registration. active team, separate accounts, 12 to 24 months statements, and bookkeeping to show that you are bankable. Some people are not big enough to have your monument account. So if you have your bookkeeping, that can stand in place for your management account. But if you have the capacity to prepare a management account, please go ahead and do that. These are papers, these are credibility that you can use in getting these loans. Let's move on. So I call something what are the five structural pillars for being bankable. The five structural pillars for being bankable, and this is it. Legal structure. When I talk about legal structure, I'm talking about your CA registration. That is the business properly registered? Does it have a TIN? Does it have a corporate account? And is it formally existing? That is your legal structure. Next is your financial record. Does the business have a clean bank statement? And does it have a minimum bookkeeping that provides it is real and operational? Nobody wants to do business with a company that is just written by name. No bank will give you loan if they cannot ascertain that these things are there. Then now moving from there, we're not going to be asking you what is your business plan. Like I said, there are five structures. Let's just call them five pillars of being bankable. What is your business plan? This is what we have here. Business plan. You as an owner of a business, can you effectively say that your business will turn around to profit? So we can say, can the owner explain clearly what the loan is for? If I give you 100,000, can you tell me what you will use the 100,000 for? And how are you going to pay? How is the business going to repay this loan? Now, a lot of people go into getting loan, but they forget to, have it in the back of mind that not all glitters are gold per se. When I say not all glitters are gold, it's not everything that you do as a business that will come out very, very, successful. So I plan to sell 10 bags of cement because I'm into cement. I go to the likes of Davidanu Microfinance Bank and I tell them I need loan to get 10 bags of cement. They'll be asking me, if we give you this loan, how are you going to get this bag of cement? And however, where are you selling this bag of cement? Are you selling it at Songo or in Lagos? Or you are going to one remote village to sell this bag of cement? Because we need to know that this business is going to thrive. So you need to have your business plan written down properly for the bank to see. These are things that make you bankable. Don't go there with just mouth and telling them that, oh, I want to collect DBN loan and they expect them to give you. Because the bank itself has its own criteria for assessing you and giving you this loan. And they will ask you, what happens when you cannot sell your 10 bags of cement? What happens? Is there money missing? Do you have a backup plan? Do you have alternatives? What is the fallback if your projection is missed? You need to have these things in check for you to be able to be bankable rather. What is your credit history? A lot of people, they do not have good credit history. The bank will check your credit history. Is it that you collected loan from First Bank? Then when you knew that the First Bank you collected loan from, they are coming after you, you are not paying back. You now go to Zenith Bank to go and collect another loan. We as an individual, we have credit rating. So is your credit rating good? Has the owner borrowed before and repaid? There are a lot of businesses that when they borrow, they repay. And then a lot of banks will be running after them to tell them, please come and collect loan. There are a lot of businesses like that. So you need to also assess yourself, assess your company. Are we credit worthy for them? If I give you 10,000 naira and you don't pay me back, and you tell me you pay me back next week, and you don't pay me back, if you come again for 10,000, I won't be able to give you because your credibility is already faulty. Your credibility is already faulty. Can I get my money back? A bank is not a charity. DBN loan is not for charity. So they would need to get the money back. So they would check your creditworthiness. You as an individual, are you creditworthy? Your business, is it creditworthy? And then the last is governance. Is the business structured in a way that will survive beyond the founder? So I give you a loan, for instance, and something happens to you. You get into an accident. Does that mean the business stops? Does everything depend on one person? So we have a lot of people that, in this new dispensation, in a couple of years back now, if we notice they have been doing roads in different places. And I can remember there's a certain microfinance bank, I won't call the name here. It gives the microfinance bank gave loan to a couple of restaurants and businesses. And the worst, let's not say the worst, but something happened. This happened at Oniru. If you are covenant, if you know about the island well, you know Oniru side. So Oniru, they started doing the road at Oniru, and that made that place very inaccessible for cars. For that tenor, a lot of business shut down. A lot of loans went bad. This is one of the examples. Is the business structured in a way that it will survive beyond the founder or beyond economic reasoning? So they start doing a business on the road in front of your shop. People start going to the other streets to buy things. People start going to other places to buy things from. Won't it affect your repayment plan? So these are the things that the bank is looking at. These are the things they're looking at, and they're going to tell you, are you bankable? Are you bankable? Do you have a bankable presence? So the lender, the bank, will say exactly does the loan, what does this loan generate, and what is the cash back plan like? What happens if sales drop by 20%? Will we get our money back? And do you have the right governance to last beyond now? If something happens to you, does our money go? So, getting this loan, it is very essential and very important to have these five bankable structures to be able to achieve attaining this loan. And mind you, if you can have these five things, you can walk into any of the appointed DBN loan providers and get this loan. I kid you not. Take it to the bank and tell them that there was a facilitator, Navi. He said that if I have these things and you have done your background check, I want this loan. They will give it to you because they have been provided by Development Bank of Nigeria for you. They have been provided for you. So bankability, which is the first pillar when looking at DBN loans. When we are moving on, you are going to be saying, why does most of the application fails? Why do they fail? What are the reasons? Like I said here, weak financial records. If you don't have a weak financial record, forget it. Nobody will give you. Nobody will give you. And this is the most common failure. CHE registration is one of the failures. Your business is not registered. How do we trust you? I open Navi Limited. How do we trust you if it's not registered? Once you carry this money and run away, collateral insufficiency. We are getting there. No business plan. One of the reasons a lot of you do not have business plans, and that is why you are not bankable. And then poor credit history. If your credit rating is poor, then I'm sorry, you cannot get this loan. So let's look at these things. Let's look at them. These are the structures that would make us have a bankable application. Bankable application. Moving on, we are going to be looking at the guarantee. So, I mentioned something about collateral insufficiency and then guarantee. They work hand in hand. Collateral insufficiency and guarantee, they work hand in hand. So, you as a businessman, you as a businesswoman that started the company, you are going to collect loan. How is the bank going to be assured that you will pay back this loan? And if you do not pay back, what can we hold? So, a lot of these banks and a lot of microfinance banks per se, they always collect 150%, collateral. And I kid you not, when you go and collect loan from banks, they will tell you go and bring this, go and bring the land paper, go and bring your car papers, go and bring your great grandparents' house land paper, house that they have built. Some will send you to heaven and tell you go and bring something from heaven and come back. They ask for a lot of things, a lot, a lot. And you as a small and medium-sized business, how are you going to? I mean, you're just starting your business and you want to expand. You never even buy car. How do you not expect me to bring car papers? So that is one of the things that have been affecting, companies. They don't have the right, collateral and guarantees. You hear that they'll tell you your guarantee must have 100 million in account. If I have somebody that have 100 million in account, I will not meet that person to get the loan. You know, so a guarantee is also an issue when it comes to loans for small and medium-sized businesses. But there is a solution for you. Amen. I'm a Christian, so there's a solution for you. The Lord has brought a solution for you today. So um we are looking at the second pillar. Remember our first pillar is being bankable, and under that pillar we have five structures. Under being bankable, having a bankable presence. And then secondly, we're going to be looking at the impact credit guarantee limited guarantors. So DBN has looked at it. That's Development Bank of Nigeria. Let's take note that the full meaning of DBN, like I always mention, is Development Bank of Nigeria. DBN has looked at it that we are providing loans for people through banks for small and medium-sized businesses. But we also know that these small and medium-sized businesses do not have the kind of capacity to provide for the collateral that these banks will ask for. So what do they do? There is a subsidiary. There is a subsidiary under the Development Bank of Nigeria, and they call themselves the Impact Credit Guarantee Limited. Are you with me? They call themselves the Credit Guarantee Limited. And what do? They solve the issue of guarantee and collateral. I wrote something here. I said Impact Guarantee Limited is a fully owned subsidiary of Development Bank of Nigeria. Because when you walk to the bank is already requesting 150% as loan collateral. Where are you going to get that? But what does the Impact Credit Guarantee Limited, what do they cover? So they come in as a solution to these guarantee loans or guarantee as a guarantor to you and a collateral provider to you. And what do? They are able to cover 60 to 70% or 75% of the risks. They are covering 60% of the risk. So you as the person applying for the loan, you can cover 40%. But you need to mention it to the bank or the institution that I want to be covered under Impact Credit Guarantee Limited. Because don't think the bank will tell you this. And this is an information that not many people know. And these are the secrets I'm giving you in getting these DBN loans. So note that Credit Guarantee Limited covers 60% of your collateral and stands in as your guarantors. Because this Impact Credit Guarantee Limited, they work directly with the bank. They don't work with you as an individual. So when you go to collect the loan, after presenting all your documents for being bankable, they will ask you, what do you want to bring as your collateral? They give you 100%. I mean, this is 100% of the assets or whatever. And then you ask them, is your bank covered or does the bank have an agreement with the Impact Credit Guarantee Limited? If they do, the bank will refer to them. Those who cover 60% of the guarantee of what is going to be guaranteed of your collateral. If they cover 60%, you just have to bring 40%. But that's not an escape route for you because that 60% has been covered by Impact credit guarantee limiter, you are still to pay that 60%. It's just that because you need the loan immediately, you would need them to sign for you. So as we keep moving on, I hope everyone is following. I'm sure questions will be at the end of the lecture. So as of March 2025, the Impact Credit Guarantee Limited has guaranteed over 309 billion. They have guaranteed over 309 billion. That means people are using them. You all don't know about it, but people are using them currently. That is equivalent to $200 million. And they have been able to cover 87,000 SMEs as of today. But you don't know. And this is very, very vital information for you that want to go and collect DBN loans. These people cover 60% of your risks. So please take note. If you do not have enough guarantors or you don't have enough collateral to cover your loan, please ask the bank that you want to use the Impact Credit Guarantee Limited coverage. They would assess you. For them to assess you, you have to bankable too. So those documents that you have submitted to the bank, they would assess those documents too and see that yes, this person is bankable. I will cover 60% of the collateral. You go and find your 40%, and you'll be able to access this loans. So once they pay the bank, they also step into the bank shoes. So a lot of you will say, okay, what if I cannot pay back? Or what if you as the bank now will say, what if I cannot cover? What if my 60% is not covered? It is not the business of the individual. The Impact Credit Guarantee Limited has already covered 60%. So when the bank wants to collect their money, they will collect 60% from Impact Credit Guarantee Limited, while you as an individual that came to get the loan would pay the 40%. Now the Impact Credit Guarantee Limited will come and meet you for the 60%. You have to pay them back. But mind you, you know that you need this money to start up your business or to expand your business. So you need them, to cover for you. You need them to cover for you. So we will now say, how do we request for this guarantee? How do we request? So during your loan application, you have to tell them that your collateral is insufficient and you want to apply for ICGL guarantee on your behalf. I mean, if the bank they're always ready because they know that 60% of this collateral have been covered. So every bank will always want to, get into that. They will always want to do that because they know that 60% has been covered. What they need to pursue you for is 40%. But not all branch staff knows about it. Not everybody knows. So you can speak to a relationship manager in the bank, or you can speak to SME's bank officer, and they will be able to tell you about ICGL. Please let all of us that are going into loan take notes. And if you do not have enough collateral or you don't have any guarantor or someone to sign it as a guarantee that is as big as ICGL, please, you can use ICGL. So you prepare your ICGL document, which is your business plan, your financial records, and the documents you literally sent to the bank to be bankable is what the ICGL will also look at. There's something I didn't mention, which is pay attention to the guarantee fees. As ICGL is giving the bank their collateral that I'm covering 16%, it's coming at a fee. Now, some of the banks will pass the fee over to you. That's why I said, however, some PFIs may pass the cost to you in the pricing. But you need to ask. Always ask. Always ask questions. We are collecting this money at a cost. Please ask questions. And like I said, they cover 60% of your collateral, not 100%, not 40%, not 50%. they cover 60% of your collateral. Moving on. So we'll be moving to the third pillar. We'll be moving to the third pillar. And the third pillar is the DBN pathway. The DBN pathway. So always know DBN has the Development Bank of Nigeria is financed by up to 5 institutions. The money is there. The money is there for you. World Bank is giving Development Bank of Nigeria money. African Development Bank is giving them money. European Investment Bank is giving them money. German Development Bank is giving them money. And French Development Agency is giving them money. I didn't put this in slide because they are just information that you should know. But these are the people that are giving DBN money to be able to finance small and medium-sized businesses in Nigeria. So do not think that, oh, can DBN finance my loan, or can I have enough loan, or can I access this loan? It is accessible. It is accessible for institutions. But I would say, do not call Development Bank of Nigeria and tell them that I want to collect DBN loan. You have to go through banks, through institutions. And we have 83 institutions. These are the 83 pipelines which you can use to get these loans. So DBN will not give you the loan. You yourself, as an individual, as a business, DBN will not give you the loan. DBN will tell you, go to the institutions that I have made available so that you can go and collect these loans. And I have them here. We have Access Bank, we have Eco Bank, we have First Bank, we have Fidelity, we have Sterling, we have UBA. These are the tier 1 banks. And as at 2025, Fidelity Bank won DBN Innovation Award for the year. They won DBN Innovation Award for the year. That means they were able to give a lot of people DBN loans. They were able to give a lot of people DBN loans. So for the tier 1 commercial banks, you can actually reach out to DBN, Sterling, GTB. You go there and you tell them, I want to apply for DBN loans. Because if you go and tell them I want to apply for loan, they will give you the normal commercial loans that they give everybody. Take note, always be specific. I want to apply for Development Bank of Nigeria loans. So if you cannot get access to to the commercial banks, we have microfinance banks. Those ones are around your streets. We have microfinance banks that you can actually reach out to, and they will be able to give you these loans. For microfinance bank, we have Lapo, we have Davudani, we have Baobab, we have Alert, we have a lot. We have Infinity Microfinance Bank, we have Main Trust Microfinance Bank, So these microfinance banks, they are the pipelines which you can get the DBN loan from. They are one of the pipelines which you can get this DBN loan from. For mortgage, we have Abid Mortgage, Homebase, Infinity Trust, Jubilee Life. So these guys are the ones that will give you these loans. DBN, you will call DBN today and ask them, I want DBN loan. They will not give you 1 naira. You have to go through the pipelines. It's just like the ground. If you want water, you have to connect pipe to the tap to get water. That is the way it is. These pipes are the banks, the microfinance banks that we see everywhere, that are, they are the pathways. So we have 83 as of today, which are the gateways of getting DBN loans, and we need to reach out to these banks themselves and tell them we need DBN loans, and they will make it available to us, as they have been disbursed by DBN itself. Some people will ask, what is the interest rate if I go and collect DBN loan? That's one of the tricky things, tricky questions that a lot of people ask. And I would always tell them there is no definite interest rate. So the interest rate you get from Zenith Bank might be different from the one you get from UBA. it will also be different from the one you get from Zen GTB. If you go to the microfinance bank that they boss faster, what you get from Infinity will be different from what you get from Lapo, from what you get from Davudani, from what you get from AB, Baobab, and the rest. So everyone is different, but they always base at the NPR rates, which is what they use as their base for collecting loans in Nigeria. You know, so always know that there is no specific rate when you go and meet them for loans. So don't think you are going to go and collect DBN loan and then it is at 2%. No, the bank, the pipeline. That's why it is stretched among different, PFIs. It is stretched among different ones. So if you do not want the one that is offering you maybe 18%, you can go to the one that it says I'm more generous to offer you 15% because I want you to collect this loan through us. So just try to do your inquiries on which of the interest rates is more preferable for you you know, to handle. Because what I will collect at 18%, because I have the capacity, another person might not be able to collect it at that same 18%. They might want 15%. So every of the PFIs have their own interest rate in which they offer the DBN loans. Because this DBN coming to the banks, they also come at an interest rate. So they give the bank as an interest rate, while the bank gives you that are doing business. But it is not a rate of commercial loans. So always take notes. DBN loans are way cheaper, in interest rate on its own. So there was a project that they started recently, which is called the Finclude project. And it's not just for a sector in Nigeria here. It is the fostering inclusive finance, which allows finance to be for up to 40 million Nigerian enterprises, but they are targeted. And when I say they are targeted, their priority is for women finance businesses and agricultural businesses. But they are open to everybody. But they are more focused on women-led businesses and agricultural businesses. So a couple of us are into agriculture. Be looking for the Finfood project. It has up to $500 million in our ecosystem through Development Bank of Nigeria, which is accessible to us. So if you're a lady, if you're a woman that leads your business, you can ask them for the Finfood project type of loan under the DBN loan, and they will make it accessible to you. This has a single digit asset, and they will make it accessible to you. So these are the pillars. These are the pillars for accessing Development Bank of Nigeria loans. Number one, like I mentioned, you must be bankable. Just like you going to the bank to get your loan, you must be bankable. When I mention bankable, you must have your CAC registration, you must have, your business plan, you must have your team to your business, you must have a good credit rating, you must have a good business structure to be able to be bankable. That is it. Then you must go and you want a guarantor or a creditor to collect collateral. You can go through the ICGL. They cover 60% of the collateral. They cover 60% of your collateral. You just have to handle 40%, right? And the last one is you must go through the pipeline. Do not call the Development Bank of Nigeria and tell them that you want the loan, but go through your commercial banks and microfinance bank. When you enter there, you tell them, I want DBN loans, and they will make it available. Like I said, we have 83. So anyone you are going to, make sure they are under the pipeline or they are one of the PFIs of Development Bank of Nigeria to make this loan accessible to you. So these are very, very easy and simple steps to take to get the DBN. I'm sure it's not hard for a lot of us because we are all credit worthiness. We have our business registered, we have our tax identification number, we are reliable, businessmen and women that are doing business in Nigeria. and this loan is accessible to us in minutes, in days. You can get this loan. You can get this loan easy and accessible to everyone. You know, you have to. They call it the 7-stage strategic roadmap under the 3 pillars. You must prepare yourself, prepare yourself to be bankable. Select your PFIs. Do I want to go through GT Bank? Do I want to go to UBA? Do I want to go to microfinance banks? I need to select. Then when you get there, you indicate, I want DBN loans. Don't go and tell them I want commercial loans. These are specific type of loans. So tell them I want DBN loans. I want to access DBN loans. They would look at their system. If they are PFIs, they will tell you, yes, you can get DBN loans. And then you submit your, the document request. They will appraise you. When they appraise you, they ask for collateral. Tell them, yes, if you have enough collateral to give them, give them. But if you do not, go tell them, I want to go through ICGL. They will cover 60%, you cover 40%, and they make this money available to you, funding. They make the funding available to you. ICGL covers your guarantee, and then covers the collateral up to 60%, and then you process of repayment. They have their moratorium. Everybody will give you a moratorium. Moratorium is the available months that will be free of interest. So you can do business to stabilize, maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, depends on the PFI you use. They will give you moratorium as the same fit, before you start your repayment of loan. Like I said, state explicitly, I am interested in a DBN backed facility. Because, like I said, standard loan officer will just tell you, oh, we have commercial loans, we have this loan, that loan. But if they do not, some would not mention the DBN backed facility to you. So always make sure that you state the kind of loans you need, the kind of facility that you want, and it will be made available to you. That's that is that's a quick overview. That is what we have for today. So I'm sure we all understand this now. We are all more confident. We're all more, we're all more confident in going to the bank and requesting for a DBN loan. Nigeria is not easy for everybody, and debt is, like I said, is one of the best way of financing your business. Your equity would go, your personal funds will go. But you can, if your business is looking profitable, you can request. If you want to expand, you can request for these loans. Use it to expand, while you use your normal equity to handle other things that are very, very important. So I hope we have been able to take a lot from these lessons, from this training today. Before we run away, do we have questions? Do we have
Yes,
questions? Is that something you do not understand?
thank
You
you so
want us
much,
to go
Mr.
over?
Nabi. So I guess I might think I have a question here in the Q&A box. So for those of us still here, please kindly drop your questions in the Q&A box. You'd find it just below your screen. So just click on it. You see the Q&A box where you can drop your questions, and I'll be reading them out to Mr. Nabi so that he can answer.
Okay.
So someone is asking, at what cost is the impact guarantee acting as a guarantor? And does the DBN finance interest-free loan via commercial banks?
Okay. Should I answer that first, or we can go over all questions?
Yes, you can answer that first because I can see that
Yeah.
there are more people dropping the questions. And for those of us that are following us on our social media platforms, please you could drop your questions in the chat box and I'll be reading them out. If you have questions for Mr. Navi, you could drop them
Okay,
in the
so please, can
chat
you take that
box.
question again?
The question is, at what cost is the impact guarantee acting as a guarantor? And I think you've answered the part of the interest, but the person is asking if DBN finances interest-free loans via commercial banks.
Okay. So um I would answer the like I've said. We have interest-free loans. These are not interest-free loans. Like I said, when I said DBN loans, I told you they are financiers of DBN. There are five financiers of DBN. We're talking about the World Bank. We're talking about European Bank. We're talking about Germany Bank. These are the people that pump in money into Development Bank of Nigeria. Note, Development Bank of Nigeria is for they are providing these funds for development. And micro and small businesses are part of development in an economy. Because if they grow, your economy grows. They contribute 50% of the GDP in an economy. So this is a form of development through businesses. Now, when these financiers of DBN provide this loan to them, they don't provide this for free. World Bank will not give you money for free. World Bank gives DBN at a rate also. So DBN makes this loan accessible to banks at a rate. Mind you, DBN does not deal with individuals. They only deal with the banks that they make their PFIs. So when they make this loan available to the banks at a rate, the bank would also come and meet you and tell you this, you want DBN loan, this is the rate we'll give you a DBN loan. So we have 83. If UBA tells you I give you at 10%, go to GT. GT Bank might be giving at 7%, but it is at interest. There is no DBN free loan. No. Don't go and collect a loan and tell them, oh, my facilitator told me it is a free loan. It is not free. There is an interest. And because you as an individual are going to business, you want to make profit. Same way the banks will go and collect DBN because it's even an advantage for the banks itself. For the PFI, it is an advantage to them because the interest is an income to them too. And they would also pay DBN for providing this money for them. So there is no DBN loan. The second question is what is the cost? And at what cost for this? Do we have ICGL? ICGL would make the cost available according to the banks. According to the banks.
No, I think the
You
person
know,
is asking for the guarantor, the cost of
sorry?
as in the guarantor, whoever it is that is
Yes.
guaranteeing the loan, that what's the cost of the impact to the person acting as the guarantor.
Well, like I mentioned, are you going through ICGL or you are bringing an individual as a guarantor? Those are the two people. That's the two ways. I said ICGL will cover this thing 60%, your collateral 60%, also standing as your guarantor. But there will be a cost, and the cost the bank will make known to you the cost. So always ask the bank, at what cost is ICGL giving me this 60% for this? Mind you, like I said, the bigger the amount you want to collect might determine the cost that will be charged. You understand? So for an individual, if you are bringing in an individual to stand in as your guarantor, the bank will tell you also, this is what I want. This and this and this is your guarantor must be able to have so amounts. You must be able to, be in control of this and that. So everyone has their own cost. ICGL would cover 60% at a cost, at a fee. The bank will make that known to you. Also, if they not cover ICGL, if you are bringing in someone to come standing as your guarantor, the bank will also know the criteria known to you and at what cost. So that answers that.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Nabi.
Yeah.
Someone is asking how real the DBN loan is because he hasn't heard about this period today.
How?
He's asking how real the loan is, the DBN loan. He's asking how real it is because he hasn't heard of it before today.
Okay, like I said, DBN, DBN, loan is very real. DBN 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 loan is very real DBN loan is as real as yes as the sun. I will use that word. If you doubt, just walk into any bank and tell them I need DBN loan and I want it to be covered by ICGL. Just make yourself bankable. You will get your loan. We have 83 PFIs, which are the pipelines in which DBN gives these loans. We have 83 institutions. Walk into any of them today. Be specific. I want DBN loan, and they will give it to you. So it is very real. It is accessible today, accessible yesterday, accessible in the future. Because this money they are made available to the Development Bank of Nigeria is not to throw parties. It is for medium-sized businesses, growing businesses, small-scale businesses. They will handle these things for you, you know. So it is very real. Please, a lot of people do not know. A lot of people do not know. Like I said, 309 billion has been has been guaranteed by ICGL, and up to 87,000 businesses are using this as of today. There are a lot of small businesses that we don't know about. A lot. Please make sure that you make use of DBN loan for your medium and small business scale. So that's it's very real. It's very real. Please reach out to your bank. You can reach out to your bank manager. You can reach out to your bank officer and ask them, will you offer DBN loans? Just wait for the response, and you'll be happy that these loans are made available to you at good smaller rates, interest rates than the commercial loans. Yeah.
Okay, I hope that answered the question. I have another question here asking, please, what's the maximum loan tenure allowed for the DBN loan?
Oh, okay. So, like I said something. That's a good question. I said something that DBN does not deal with Nigeria like individuals. They deal with the bank, right? And the thing is this: no bank will tell you. No bank in paper. Let's be very real on some things. In paper, DBN will tell you, oh, the tenure of our loan can be 5 years. But the truth is this. How many of our PFIs can wait to 5 years? If you give somebody 10,000 naira, you need to know how long it will take to pay back. And if you are going to be collecting interest on that money, the person, you tell the person, I just give you 1 year, I give you 2 months, I give you 3 months. If the person is going to tell you, I give me 10,000 and I'll pay you back in 5 years, you would say, no, I can't collect it because you are making me run out of business. So most times, it's according to the PFIs. A lot of PFIs do 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, maximum 5 to 10 years, you know. So, but the question in Nigeria economy, let's take note of Nigeria economy in this factor. Can a bank give you a loan for 5 years? Nobody will give you DBN loan to pay back in 5 years. I think the maximum we can actually do is 2 to 3 years, you know. So let's take note of that. Don't go with the mindset of I can collect DBN loan and pay back in 10 years. No, but the PFIs are the one that will set the time frame for you. So they will tell you 24 months, 48 months, depends on your capacity, depends on your capability, depends on your business plan. Some people collect these DBN loans to buy tractors. They collect the DBN to buy some very capital intensive, items, and which are not repayable in 1 year. Some can take 2 years, 3 years. So you go into agreement with the PFIs and tell them, oh, this loan, I want to collect it for 24 months, I want to collect it for 48 months. And then this for their response, they'll be able to the thing is the funds is available for you. Some people can pay back in 6 months, business goods. You understand? So people can pay back in 1 year. But I think the maximum we can actually get DBN loan as at today in Nigeria could be up to 3 to 4 years, you know. But I for a microfinance bank will give you 1.5 year or 2 years at most to pay back the DBN loan, you know. But standard is always 1 year. Standard is always 1 year to pay back. Take note that the interest rate is lower than what we have for your commercial loans. Tayo,
Okay, thank you, Mr. Navi. I have another question here.
yeah.
Um, It says for a business forced to close business in 2022 and now wants to relaunch operations, how can such business go about getting a loan when there has not been operations showing in the bank statement?
Okay, so your business that closed in 20 and wants to reopen. As such, there's a couple of things I said, in being bankable. Yeah, I'm certain your business is registered, and I'm certain you have the prerequisite, documents to back up your registration, your team. And then we look at the business flow and also business plan. Business plan. If I'm going to a business, if I stop the business because they closed down my road here, and today the road is done, and I open the business again, and I want a loan, I can go and meet them for DBN loan. We look at the business plan, and we look at is this something that is going to be repayable? Because these banks will also do their credibility check on your business on its own. They will go and check out the site. They'll go and check out where is your business situated. So if you have a proper business plan on how your business grows, nobody is going to give you money and expect you to repay back if your business plan is not good. But if you have a good business plan, they look at your statement as at before it closed, it was good. They look at the possibility of this thing being very successful. They are going to give you the loan. They are going to give you the loan. But imagine you opening a business in an area that, okay, so for example, we all know the insecurity in the north. You know that a lot of people have migrated from some certain communities in the north. I have a business there. I have a business there. In fact, I have a farm there and I want to expand. But they are going to look at it. I stopped 2 years ago because of the insecurity. And I tell them I want to start again. They are going to look at the area. Is this place still secured? Does it look as if, mind you, I've stopped. Does it look as if my business is going to be profitable as I begin? Does it look as if I'm going to be able to pay the loan that is being given to me? If they look at this thing, and what is the business plan? If they look at these things and it's not going to work, they are not going to give me the loan. Nobody's going to give me the loan. So we're not looking only at the bank statement because there's no inflow. But if we are doing a business where development has come into the area, and I stopped business before, but I'm opening a new branch in so location to start up business, I look like a good prospect. They are going to give me the loan, regardless of if my bank. When you give them the bank statement, you're going to give them when you were doing business, and then your business plan is going to show the turnaround that is going to happen, how you are going to pay the loan, the position in which your business is as of today, and it's going to be in the next couple of months. They look at this and they assess it. Then it's a business that they want to back. It will be backable. That's why a lot of people do not get this loan because they are not bankable. Like I said, they are not bankable. It is you showing that I am a bankable person. It is you showing that believe in me. I'll be able to pay back the DBN loan I've collected from you. If you can confidently speak on this, then they'll be able to give you the loan. So you looking at, oh, I do not have it, I've not been in business for a reason, one reason or the other, for a couple of months or maybe 1 year or 2 years, and you are going to apply for this DBN loan, make yourself bankable, have a business plan and a business structure in place. You understand? Imagine me going to now ask for the billion loan of 3 million because I'm just coming into the system, or I'm just starting business again from where I stopped. I might not be able to get the 3 million. I might be able to get 1.5 to 2 million for them to see that I am able and capable of paying back this loan. But when I am bankable, I make myself bankable, they will give it to me. It might not be at that 3 million because they want to be able to be sure that I will do business and I will make profit and I'll be able to repay back this loan. So take 1 million or 1.5 million and start your business first. When you start with that amount and you're able to pay back, you can go back again and say, I want DBN loan. With that, you have a very good cash flow. you have a very reputable business, your business can be backed that it is bankable, and then you can collect a higher amount for your loans. So I hope that answers that. Tayo.
So thank you, Mr. Navi. I hope that answers your question. So I have another question here asking that peradventure if he has a problem or if his relationship manager at a said bank is not cooperating, is there any organ of DBN where he can port this?
If your bank manager or your banking officer is not cooperating, like I said, ask, do they have a DBN loan? I have a list of, like I put it down here, like lots of people you can access the commercial banks and then the microfinance and multi-bank. These are the people that have the facility in their possession. You can escalate issues. You can escalate issues. Please go to the DBN website, or you could send them a mail telling them so bank is not cooperating with you when it comes to your request for a DBN loan. So because they have made the fund available for you through the banks. So please, you can escalate it, loans.dbn and developmentbanknigeria.com. Look at this. You can use the online platform to register and track your inquiries and also escalate. You go on the website, escalate it that you are trying to access loan from First Bank and they are not giving you the DBN loan. They can reach out to First Bank because they have made the money available at First Bank. So they can reach out to First Bank and ask what is the problem. Please know that the money has been available to these PFIs for you. Please make your request and they will make it available. So you can always escalate these issues. You can always escalate them.
Okay, and I
Hope
have
that
another
answers that.
question. Yes, I hope that answers your question,
Yeah.
Mr. Taiwo. I hope that answers your question. I have another question here that reads, I've been running my business for over a year, but my cash flow has been irregular and I currently do not have collateral. How can I position my business to still qualify for funding?
Okay, so being this just fall under being bankable, which is a pillar one. Um, Nigeria is Nigeria is a very good country, and a lot of unforeseen circumstances happen, right, which might affect our cash flow in business. But being bankable, you have to show that my business is, I'll be able to repay the loan, right? So when you are showing up your business, like I said, there are things that you must do to be able to apply for this loan. Number one is then making sure to see that you have a good legal structure. Your registration, is your registration good? Have you registered? Do you have a team? That is one. And please look at your bank statements and be able to demarcate between your inflows and your expenses. Right. Look at this thing. First, separate your business account from your personal account. Now look at it. Divide the statement. What is my income? What is my expenses? When you look at this thing, then you can now work on your business plan. Irrespective of if the money is not coming as at when it is or regularly, is there a plan to repay? Do my business have a plan of making profit and being able to repay my loan? If you come and meet me to tell me that I want to collect 10,000 naira from you, but I don't know when I will pay you back, I won't give you. I will not give you. So there must be a plan looking at your business to say that yes, this 100,000, this 1 million I'm collecting as DBN loan is going to be repayable. Do you understand? Print your if you say your bank statement and then we have irregular, cash flow. Please print it out and show it to the banking officer. Okay, this is how my business is a seasonal business. I buy now and I sell next month. That's how my business runs. So with that, the bank is not able to look at it and structure the loan in such a way that they'll be able to give a DBN loan and a good restructuring and repayment plan. The way I'm going to repay is going to be different from the way another person will pay. They will look at the repayment structure for you because sometimes your business can be a seasonal business. So they can look at it is my repayment, is the person repayment plan, is this something that we can work with? Let's note that DBN loan made available to PFI is not free. And if you cannot pay back, you'll be held responsible because it's come at a cost. So you will be held responsible. And how do you don't have a collateral? Like I said, we have the ICGL that covers 60%. So what does ICGL does? Impact Credit Guarantee Limited. Impact Credit Guarantee Limited will tell the bank, see, let me cover 60% of this collateral. So if the bank is telling you, if you are borrowing 1 million and the bank tells you, go and bring something that you can use to back up your 1 million, let's say a property, a land, or whatever, for example, give us something that we can walk back and say, okay, if you do not pay back, we can sell it and maybe we can recover something. So, whatever you are going to bring back, they will tell you, go and bring us something worth 600,000, 700,000, something worth 800,000. ICGL will tell you, okay, that's 700,000 worth of property or item you are going to bring as your collateral. I'm going to cover 60% of this amount. Then I am sure if we are being serious about getting a DBA loan, 40% for now to get that loan is something you can actually assess. This is to show that I'll be able to repay this loan. But you pay back the 60%, but as at when you need the loan, ICGL would cover 60%. So the bank will tell you, oh, you're going to bring 40%, while we will collect 60% from ICGL. ICGL will not be the one to collect the 60% from you. Don't think that you won't pay back the 60%. It's a collateral. If you can pay back, then they don't need to sell your collateral. Do you understand? But everybody is in the business of making these loans are not free also. They come at a certain lower interest rate, but you must be able to pay back, the loan at the good interest that you are being given. So first of all, being bankable. Two, go through ICGL to get collateral. Be bankable. Print out your financial statement, show it to them, get your registration in line, get a business plan. Like I said, if you look at what I said, what is most of the most common failure is your financial record and no proper business plan, which is common. No business plan, which is a common failure. But always show your financial records. For a financial record that is very, very weak, you might not be able to get this loan because they cannot guarantee that you will pay back. But when you can have a financial record that is okayable to them, since you have been doing business, you'll be able to get the loan. Maybe not at the rate that you want, which is maybe not at the amount that you want, but there's always a counter amount they can give you, to go on with your business. I hope that answered that.
Yeah, I hope that answered your question. So I'll just run through the questions that we have in the chat box,
Okay.
so that you can answer them all at once. So the first one is giving an example that, let's say, for example, I want to start a business and I don't really have proof of flow of trade or sales log and expense tracker because it's a new initiative. Do I wait for that long before applying? And then also, do I have to get an account with a particular bank before getting the loan? I have the third question saying, let's say, for example, if a business does not have a high financial, I think it just similar
Yeah.
read it out. Um, let's say a business doesn't have a high financial record, but has an invoice finance to work with that is backed by contractual term and the strength of the company that is guaranteeing the pay. Can DBN be applicable to an inadequate financial record backed by contractual protection and third-party guarantee?
Exactly. That question, can you come again?
Okay, I think the question says if a business doesn't have a high financial record, but the business
Mm-hmm.
has an invoice finance to work with that is backed by contractual term and the strength of that company and the strength of a company that's guaranteeing to pay, can DBN be applicable to an inadequate financial record backed by contractual protection and third-party guarantee? Did you get that? Can I come?
Contractual. Yeah, please come again. Contractual invoice.
Contractual protection and third-party guarantee.
Okay.
Okay, then
Trying to put it
the
down.
next question. Okay, can I start reading the next question?
Yeah, you can go on.
Okay. I have been running my business for over a year, but my cash flow has been irregular and I currently don't have collateral. How can I prove it? Okay, I think you already answered this in the question in the Q&A box. I have another question. If I have a loan running, can I get another loan? And okay, for Abraham, are you asking for the DBN loan? If it's, I think it's asking if the loan is for just Lagos residents or everyone can have access to it. And then I have another question, the last two questions. Can a bank give a bank, can a bank give a loan if the business CAC status is not filed up to date? Okay, status report is not filed, filled up to date. Mm. Okay, I think for your last question, Godspa, I think we'll get back to you on that. We I'll get back to you on that question. You can just reach out to us via email and then we'll get back to you on that question. But I think the last question, Mr. Navi, is just is the one I've read out. Can a bank give a loan if the business CAC status is not filled up to date? So those are all the questions that we have outstanding.
Okay. So, thank you. If I miss anyone, please call me back. Please
Okay,
wait.
so
Yeah. I'm going to be starting with the question that spoke about you do not have a proper financial record, but you have collateral invoice and third party guarantors, right?
yeah.
Um, it's going to be hard to get. Um, it's going to be hard to get a DBN loan. So, like I said, like I explained initially, right? The bank does uh, their own assessment before giving you this loan. Take a look at it. Instead of commercial banks giving the bank the loan, it is Development Bank of Nigeria giving them the loan. And if the Development Bank of Nigeria is giving them an treasury, they make the loan available to you. So it is not free. So if you do not have a proper financial record, it's a very big uphill to climb to get a loan. It's a big uphill. And to be very, very realistic, it's going to be tight. Most banks would not subject themselves to such circumstances because to them, having a good and a and a very clean financial record shows that you are capable of repaying the loan as at when due. This is not a government contract. This is not contract that is being paid at any time you want. There is a set tenor and repayment time, right? So having an invoice to back up that you you want to get the loan or contractual invoice is not fully backed up. Is not fully a strong evidence for collecting the loan. So it's going to be a very high hope. You might not you it's highly that you will not be able to get a loan. It's highly you will not be able to get a loan. You need to have a good financial record. So without at least a bank statement to prove that your business generates cash, a PFI would reject. You know what you have is a contractual invoice. It doesn't really with the contractual invoice, money has not been paid, you don't know when it's coming in, it's going to affect the bank also. So the bank which is the pipeline for this DBN loan would be affected because how do they now pay back the DBN loan that has been provided to them for you? So that might not be really possible to get. That might not be possible to get. So we need to get our financial records straight. We need to get our financial records in check so that we can be able to access these loans. The next question, please. There's a question on status reports. Can you just repeat the question for me?
Okay. Okay, I think there's a question on if the loan is for only Lagos residents.
No, please. We can get the loan from.
Lagos
It's for
residents only.
Nigerians. It's
Okay.
for Nigerians.
So, Mr. Ibrahim, I hope that answers your question. The loan is for
Anywhere you are, just
Nigerians.
walk in and tell them you want DBN loans. They will give it to you.
It's only LSTF loans that apply to Lagos residents. Now, if you're a resident in Lagos, you don't necessarily have to come from Lagos. If your name is even if your name is Emeka, if your name is Abubakar, you can have access to LSTF loans as long as you have the necessary documents and just like Mr. Navi has said, if you're bankable, you would have access to our loans. I think, and the last question I have here is, I think can a bank give a loan if the business CAC status is not up to date?
Sorry?
The last question is, can a bank give a loan if the business CAC status report is not filled up to date?
Business sales status reports. That was it.
Yeah, business CAC status report.
Okay, CAC status report.
Yes.
No. So like I said, getting your CAC status reports is not hard. It's not hard. You need to get it because this shows your credibility. You know, um, you need to update these records. It's very, very important. As a business, you need your legal structure to be up to date. Anything can happen anytime. Let's not even look at only from the business, from the loans. The loans is let's not look at it from the aspect of only DBN loans, but let's look at it from generalistically reviews. You need to have your status reports up to date. That's your team, your your business registration, bank accounts, and the rest. So please update before approaching. Mind you, we said bankable. Bankable. If I go to work, if I am going to work or going to my office and my trouser is torn We have this rag jeans. So if by mistake, or let me not use the torn trouser, if I'm going to work and I get splashed on by a moving car with dirty water, I'm stained already. I'm not looking presentable. Even if my top is clean, my white I wore is clean. As long as my trouser already has stains, I'm not looking presentable. So please, if you want to get the loan, your CAC status must be up to date. Update these records and go there confidently. Go there confidently. I'm sure it doesn't take anything to update your CAC records. Update it and go there confidently. You would know that you do not have any stone undone. You would know that everything has been up to date and all your records are good, and you'll be able to apply. Because when you do not have your status up to date and your PFI asks some certain questions, how do you respond? If two people go to get the DBN loan and one has all the records up to date, all the documents up to date, and the other person has some missing documents, how do they give the loan to those that do not have the complete document? It's just like you open your bank account. If they ask for some certain things and they say you do not have it, they might not be able to open the account. You need to provide the necessary things, your BVN. If you tell them I don't have a BVN, or I updated my BVN somewhere and maybe it changed or something, you need to provide the current status of your business, status as at the day you are registering or you are going to collect your DBN loans. So please, your status has to be up to date. I won't tell you, oh, if your status is not up to date, you can also stay acquire or you can also get the DBN loan. You must be bankable. Be bankable. I get my trousers splashed with water. I am no more presentable, even if my top is okay. My tie is still clean. My hair is cut. I am looking like a fine boy. I will not still be presentable because my trouser is already stained. So please let our records be straight. Let our CAC status be up to date so that there might not be any reason for us not to get these DBN loans. It's an advantage for a country like Nigeria to get these loans. Not all countries have the the privilege to be able to be financed all the way to DBN loans. So let us get our CAC records straight. Let our business status be up to date, and let's apply for these loans to expand our business. Thank you. Tayo, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Nabi. I think that is all the questions that we have for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying this long and for joining us for today's session. Please follow us on all our social media platforms so that you don't miss out on whatever sessions that we're having next. Thank you so much, Mr. Nabi, for taking our time of your busy schedule to take us through today's session. I'm very sure our participants have learned a lot from today's session. So for those that probably joined us late, join us halfway, then start with us, you can go to our YouTube channel. We are Lagos State Employment Trust Fund on YouTube to rewatch this session. And for those that even joined from the very beginning, pretty sure you can still learn a whole lot from going back to rewatch today's session. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you for joining us for today's session. And do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, Mr. Navin.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Appreciate your your attention this session. I hope to see you more time and in another training session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Navi. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.